We got British and American soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan. Okay, we're picking a fight, with Iran over hypocrisy. Certainly from the American point of view, if Obama's still with his nuclear idea and he's saying they can't have it, it's like Israel as well. But I mean, humanity is based on hypocrisy, and that's one of the big problems. You can't live with hypocrites, and that's causing friction. We've got to get rid of that hypocrisy, one way or the other. Afghanistan, just on the north part of Afghanistan, you've got approximately something like nearly a fifth of the world's uranium reserves. So, very interesting area. Makeda, a guy called Makeda, the turn of the century, wrote about it. I've spoken about it. I've been thinking about making a video about it, but I'm not going to. The name is Makeda. Google. Okay, start researching, just for his interest. You've got to think of the geopolitics. I'm going to go very quickly because it's a boring game. It's quite obvious. It doesn't take long to put pieces together and get a rough idea what's going on. And as long as you're honest and realize that governments are not doing things to bring love and peace to the rest of the world, because they're doing it in a very strange way if that's their objective, which it isn't. They might want you to perceive it as it. Some of them may even perceive it as such. But it's a perception, it's not. The guy who's got his leg blown off, the young shepherd boy who's got his leg blown off from a landmine, okay, he's not perceiving it in the same way, believe me. So we've got to understand other people's perceptions. It's only fair. Treat others as you want them to treat you. I mean, a minority doing that to the... It's not fair. Let's be honest. Okay? When something unfair happens to you, okay, and you think, well, that's not fair, okay, you may lose the lottery, okay, someone may push you. Think about what these guys are saying is not fair. A bit more connectivity of the world. Otherwise you're just blinkered. You're not human. You're an animal, just performing what you have to do. Okay? A higher level of consciousness is that thing that we use to describe us from difference from animals. Strange, a lot of those people who claim to be a higher level than animals detach themselves that evolution doesn't exist. In my understanding of what humanity should be, are still a little bit closer to those animals that they use that description to describe them as being different from. Anyway, that's another thing. There's not much to say about this, I can't say it. It's all here. Anyway, Charles referred to perceived reality as a playground, and in a sense it is as a playground. And what we've got today at the moment is we've got the big bullies at the playground, okay, telling everybody else how to behave. And generally what's happened over history is those big bullies have gone off to fight each other, but instead of fighting each other physically, they've been sending their little cohorts, their little followers off to do it. So even to some extent taking the money away from them, taking money out of the banks, okay, would separate themselves off there, but they still have some people there and things to pay them. So it isn't going to work. That's where there'll be blood, sweat and tears, and we won't be victorious if it goes into conflict. And generally what would happen is if there was a run on the banks, okay, everybody would end up with paper and be fighting each other in the streets. Okay, there'd be chaos. So you've got to avoid that chaos. There's got to be change. And this is where people are not thinking. Okay, a lot of people are not thinking, some people are thinking, and some people are just not caring because they can't even begin to think, or don't want to begin to think. But humanity has started, it's gone in a direction, it's arrived to a certain point, we can go ahead, we can continue following that, we change direction. Throughout history it happens. There have been different explorations that we've ignored because we've thought, well, we're big, more technologically strong in the arm, we'll go and wipe out those indigenous people and take their land. Because that's the concept of this society we're living in. Capture land, capture land, capture land, capture land. Okay? Our ancestors didn't have a sense of owning land. They lived on land. Okay? Nobody owns the air. You can't say, oh, that's my piece of air. Don't touch it. Okay, we share it. We share the land, we share the air, we share the water. That concept of ownership is what's wrong. Of ownership, it leads to so many other things. Okay? It's shared. Now, that sounds, whoo, utopia. That's where we came from. We've got technology coming in now as well. We've got a much more organised, or ability of organising ourselves. We're completely disorganised because we're not looking in the right direction. Like, oh, where's the fire? Okay. We have a structure. Okay, there are legislations and a lot of them are wrong, and that's where John Harris's group is coming in very good. Okay, taking out all that crap that's been put on by the obsessive form of civilization. Okay, and basing on a common man sense of. That's another thing you can all look into, but it's worth thinking about, certainly. And it's worth knowing where you came from, what you can be, instead of just accepting what you are told to be. Too many people close their eyes and bend over and then just continue to take it. Open that window and say, you're not going to take it anymore. That's the first step. Second step is saying, okay, how are we going to handle this? We've got to start demanding that those that represent us do their job. Okay, the political system is there to serve the people, not vice versa. We're going to be seeing a remake in the future of something similar to Braveheart. Didn't that message come across? Okay, yeah, Braveheart was just a film, and the Bible's just a book, and there are messages and indications and thought, okay, and things that are basically right within these things. Doesn't mean the whole thing's correct. Okay, you've got to put things in perspective. But the government is there to serve the people. So the people have got to start saying, okay, I'm interested in what this government's doing. Okay. Forcing them to do it is going to be a little difficult if the people are divided and have got no clear plan of what they want the government to do. But if the people, and there's enough of them, start thinking together as one big think tank, I'm sure they can work out that the way forward is working towards autonomy. Maybe smaller groups, autonomous groups of communities. Okay, that's quite natural for humanity, but we've got to work our way towards there. We need organisation, we need structure, and we need to move resources around, and we need to replan things. So there's a lot of replanning going on there, and moving of resources in a particular direction. The first steps may be slow, but once they kick off, and I'm not talking the Venus project run by the government here, okay? I'm talking about the government serving its purpose. That video I did some time ago about locomotion or something, or I can't remember what it was. Yeah, sat there with pictures of a train and the royal family and that. But the pyramid structure of the society based on democracy. Democracy. You've got the rulers at the top, the Queen, whoever. You know, the money. Okay. You've got the corporate system. Okay. You've got all the support systems. Okay. Even if the judges think they're a support system, they're actually sort of nice little puppets. Everything there, and then you've got the mass at the bottom supporting everything. Whereas, in reality, the mass, the society, that's everybody in fact. That's not just a few people. That's not just everybody minus a few people. It should be everybody on the top. Okay, using a system which supports them. Okay, money is a small cog in that system. Okay, it's a virtual concept. That's all it is. The corporate system. Okay, if it's necessary to build a bridge, as if corporations were originally things to build good for the people, not to screw the people, needs re-examining, needs putting back on track, and people need to wake up to this, and people need to stop thinking, oh my God, but it's too much. So we go and put things back on track, and we continue progressively, but we start now. Simple as that. And forget the uranium, because that's going to just lead us down a very dark path. Brzezinski's little book, that particular part of the world, Brzezinski, Bakida, they're not the only people that are interested in that. They're believing that. It's just believing fairy tales. It does make sense if you think about it from their point of view, even though I don't agree with that point of view.